Hi, namaste everybody. Just coming from beautiful Devon and this sunshine and just appreciating just in this quiet moment in the middle of a field, as I do most days, how lovely life is here when we can connect back into nature. And also the reflection, and much has happened this morning, of the raising our vibration, but to acknowledge now that we are getting closer and closer to what we're all feeling. There's some kind of point that we all have to get to very soon to what this awakening energy is, what this consciousness is, what this collective journey that we're all on is, and what actually is happening. So if we can just break that down and understand that, you know, the basic awareness of people's mental health at the moment is deteriorating for lots of people. So however awakened you are, however much you're on this journey, you know, we're all having to process the enormity of what we are going through collectively and questioning everything. So that takes many levels of and layers. And you know, I for one am aware that I've been going through transition to my next level of awakening, my next level of transition. We always know when that happens because we feel uncomfortable, we start to have shifts, we start to have lots of things happen. And I can't go into that all now if you don't know exactly what I mean, but those I'm working with in the Awakening Healing program, you know, they're also going through that now, and we go through it many times. Anyway, the point is that more people are using their voice, which is great, but we are aware that on this level of what's happening is we're all starting to question and how much will we accept as truth, and what do we accept as truth. So that's the core. What do we accept as truth, and how much do we accept as truth? Because you know, there is and always has been, when we have people in power, and I don't mean the people that represent even the country sometimes, or certain MPs and things, you know, there's a whole bigger picture here of what is unraveling and what's unfolding. And you know, for the whole of our lifetimes we've had people in power using ego, wanting to dominate, and it's no different now. We just have to understand what is going on. That is, you know, so there's a pandemic, is there's a virus. We know that there's people, I'm not suggesting for one moment that aren't ill or dying from this, and then we can analyze the causes and how it was brought to the world and all the rest of it. But what I want to say is, at what point do we question that we are, as a social being, and our unity, what is for our safety, what is being given to us to protect us, and what is being given to us to control and dominate. And it's a really hard thing. I'm not here to give any answers and say this is what's going on, and you know, we all have to question. But I know that everybody is questioning it. I know that lots of you I'm speaking to have been voicing this for years, some of you, and some people are, you know, you're more new to understanding what this journey is and what it is that we're rising to. And you know, either way, it's all okay. There's no one better than anyone else. But we have to now consciously question even deeper, what is the truth that we from our core are comfortable with or uncomfortable with. And the uncomfortable feeling is when we awaken a bit more. The uncomfortable challenging thing is when we shift a bit more. And we can't talk at people and try to wake people to just our way of thinking. What we hopefully are doing are holding space and delivering whatever we can out to the world for people to sit in whatever space they can to work it out for themselves. But collectively, the longer we conform without questioning, and we just ride this with, this is what's going on, we are being protected, and therefore we have to do A, B, C, D, and that list is getting far longer. Where do we look at our general being, our connection to our families, our connection to people, this fear that it's become normal very quickly to not hug or contact each other or go close to each other? Where's it become okay to police each other, dictate to each other on these rules? So there's elements of this, and there's different awareness. So there's people out there that will say, of course we need to do this because we have a virus, because we have, sorry, we've got Pumba sat with me here, because we have a virus, we need to be kept safe and we need to conform. And I absolutely understand where you're coming from. The other aspect of that is, what is rational behavior? What is it that we are actually fearful of getting, and what is the outcome if we did get it? What is the difference between this and the general flu that's happening? What is the situation over the past few years of us understanding what maybe vaccines have done and the flu jab has done, to where we are now, looking and waiting and wanting a vaccine to cure us from this fear? The fear of what? Obviously, most of you aren't going down that level that are listening to this. Most of you are absolutely in alignment to do everything to stop it. But we are going to have to use our voice, and we are going to have to actively participate. I've said it for so long. I absolutely hold space in the intention of a much more conscious life and world that we're living in, with a much higher vibration and compassion. But we have to live out that journey, and we can hold space, we can be in light, and we can raise our vibration, and so can everybody else. And when everyone chooses to do that, we all reach a higher level. But the reality is, it's a three-dimensional purge, and we're going to have to live through this purging and this shifting that takes us to the depths to allow that awakening fully. And it's going to have to be us not conforming and us making choices for our own well-being, our mental health. And look at it this way: we haven't spoken up enough in the past. We haven't questioned all of the things, or if we have questioned, we haven't changed it, what we know to be true that's happening to our food chain, where money is dominating choices, where pharmaceutical companies dictate to our NHS, our doctors, our nurses, where those amazing holistic therapists, healers, scientists, that are proving and catching up and using consciousness to create this, everything for the highest good. And again, technology, or so much can be done with the likes of this algorithm behind Facebook, if it was for the highest good. So much can be done with the technology to speed up the information that we get for the highest good. Where do we use our voice to understand that this journey we're being led on, this is very much the beginning? And where will we stop and say, actually, this isn't feeling like it's for our highest good? Actually, we need to take some decisions, and we need to look at what this is. If this, when this first came about, the first feeling I had was when AIDS became apparent. And if we were going to that level, we all would have died of that. And we're being treated at the moment like it's something like the plague. And actually, to be honest, if that's what had been given to us in the plan, in the agenda, I'd be more more easy to take down that path, to conform a bit more. So I am, as well as you, social distancing to the point that we need to, but I'm also sat here with awareness of what now, after this contemplation time that we're having, because we're all growing, we're all taking this opportunity to expand. I'm working more with amazing souls holding space. They're learning their own inner work. They're more in alignment to coming along to take some courses and stuff, so that they can get out there and help other people more, and just change their lives as well as other people's. And that's what we need to do. So we can't just sit there, I'm afraid, and sit and just shine our lights. We can do that as well, but we are going to have to participate to some point into how we move this forward. I absolutely know that this new way of creation, this life, I've been talking about it for years and teaching it since 2013, and what we're coming to. But I also know this isn't just going to happen overnight here and we wake up in this fluffy world. So, let's be real. The changes between now and 2025 are enormous. We have to look at, how are we going to do that? Let's remove some of the social medias that's going on at the moment, and then how would we be connecting like this? How are we going to unite? And are we ready to really work together and drop this judgment and really try to question everything? Because until we all question everything, we're not at all the same starting point. We may still disagree, that's okay. We can work through that, but we have to do this together. Just sending much love from my lovely sunny field. I will be working more deeply in the Awakened Inner Circle for those that want to join me. More and more of my content, my videos and everything I can do will be in that group, and also on my newsletter that I will make sure that I'm doing now, because the confinements of our communication are being restricted all the time. Namaste.